So I've had the Google Nest Wi-Fi for about over a year, and here are my thoughts. Now, just to make it a little clear, here where I live in Dallas, my parents' house, we only have one option for a service for internet service provider. So I think that will play a huge part of some mishaps that I have with the Google Nest not connecting or having really slow Wi-Fi. So that does kind of make it difficult when problems do occur. Do I blame it on the Wi-Fi, Google Mesh like network, or is it actually my internet provider? Something that I'll just never know. Now, the really cool part about having a Google Mesh network is that every point then becomes a Google Home/speaker. So it's pretty cool if you have several of these all around the house. You can essentially play music in any room that you're at, obviously wherever that point is at, and ask Google any questions. Now, directly on the Google Home app is where you'll be able to set up your Google Mesh network, and from there you can prioritize, unpause, pause certain devices or any devices that are connected to the internet. And if you have small ones or kids at the house, you're going to love this next feature, which is scheduling. You can make a kid's schedule, connect all the devices that are connected to the internet, make that as a group, and then you can set a schedule of when to turn on and off the internet to those selected devices. So it's really nice because you just kind of set it and forget it. The Google Home app really makes it super easy to set up schedules, whether that be for school nights, weeknights, weekends. Now, of course, all these schedules are customizable to your needs, but this feature works, let me tell you. I have a 13-year-old nephew here at the house, so you can safely say that his PS4 is on a schedule, and believe me, it works. The screams are real when it turns off. Now, of course, this feature of like pausing and unpausing certain devices isn't just made for kids. You know, if you are on a power trip and you just want to shut everyone's devices off, you can do that. Not advocating for that, of course, use this power accordingly, but it's great when you want to prioritize a certain device. Let's say you want to watch a movie upstairs. In my case, we have a theater room above the garage. Now, one of the things that kind of sucks is that because our house is really spread out, since it's a one-story floor, with the theater room being the only upstairs room, the coverage isn't enough. Given that the mesh or the actual router or modem is in my parents' bedroom, which is all the way on the other end where we're at right now, where my office is at, the actual modem and router is all the way at the other end of the house. So that does make it difficult to gain or have really good Wi-Fi everywhere around the house. I expect that I would have to get another 2 to 3 mesh points to really cover the entire house. Now, again, the actual TV, which is a smart TV, and we have an Amazon device connected to it so we can have all our apps available. Now, the only hiccup that I've seen without having a mesh point all the way upstairs, so I don't have a Google network upstairs, it's literally just across the house where I have them all settled, essentially so that way I could have Wi-Fi here in this office once I converted it. The upstairs does connect to the internet fairly well, especially if we're all on there. So if we're all on there, I do usually tell right before movie night, I tell everyone to disconnect from the Wi-Fi, and then I go into the Google app and prioritize that TV for, you can set it up for 1, 4, or 8 hours. So that's pretty cool. That way it just kind of helps with all the internet activity to go directly to that device. And that helps with better buffering and less lag. Now, one of the things that I did notice, because I don't have a Google Nest upstairs, I'm unable to watch those like UHD 4K movies. I've noticed that those type of movies are on the HBO Max app. So there'll be several movies, I'll have to check it. If it's those kinds, the UHD, 4K, whatever, we can't watch it upstairs. The internet signal is not strong enough to stream those kind of movies. So we do resort and watch those kind of movies or shows downstairs in the living room or in my TV, depending who wants to watch it. Now, unfortunately, these Google Nest Wi-Fis aren't cheap at all. Each mesh point is about $150 extra. The one here at the office was one extra that I had to buy because of the package that you bought in the beginning. You have one that acts as like the router and then 2 points where you can put everywhere. Well, those 2 points weren't enough strength to really have internet access here in this converted garage. So I did have to go out and buy one extra. Again, that cost $150 extra. And like I said, I do want about 2 to 3 more to really cover the house. But that's an extra, what about like $450 that I just don't have to just spend on it just yet. You know, like I said, the upstairs does work for the most part for Netflix. It's pretty great, but that is in the plan to get another 2 to 3 just so I can really get good enough strength upstairs, because I would love to utilize the theater room as much as possible. Now, overall, the setup process was really seamless and easy thanks to the Google Home app. It really does take you step by step on what you need to do, and it just connects and it just works great. Especially if you're already familiar with like setting up Google Homes, which I now have like 2 to 3 kind of Google Homes that I need to just place somewhere. So I do have one of my older ones in my bathroom that I use obviously as like asking what time it is and as a speaker, and then one in my bedroom. And then I also gave my other one to my nephew. He has that in his bedroom. So again, those don't act as any like mesh points or anything like that. Those are just run-of-the-old-mill Google Homes. So now, would I recommend this Google Home Nest Wi-Fi system? Yes. But again, I'm not an expert in internet or modem routers. I don't really know the difference between them. I mean, I would love any suggestions that you guys may have to better or get better internet out of my service provider. Again, I can only have one. So I don't even know if I connected it the proper way that I needed to, because all I did was connect the actual hub or the main point of the Google to the modem that we had. I don't know, I'm not an expert, but overall, I really do love this, especially the scheduling, because it just makes it really easy to control, especially if you have kids or young ones in your household. And with that being said, if you do buy this, don't come after me if you don't like it or it doesn't work for you. I'm not an expert.